WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Roads are underwater or washed out, and many areas are under a flash flood warning at this hour.
And this is just the beginning of the weather woes for the latest on the deluge. We turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He has a first look at our forecast tonight. Keith?
Hey guys, we have a little bit of a lull in the action right now. This is our live radar. We saw pockets of rain, not as intense as what we had earlier, but boy, we will have likely more rain later on tonight. And let's talk about where we have had the heaviest rain. Some spots seeing 3, 4, 5, or 6 inches of rain. Some spots not as much, about 3 inches in Columbus, over 2.5 or around 2.5 in Tupelo. But it has been a very wet day, and these numbers will continue to go up as we do expect to see more rain here. So let me show you what's been happening out there as far as the effects of all of this rain. The Clay-Webster County line, right along County Line Road, right there, heavy amounts of water moving on through there. Matheson, backyards flooded, a typical scene across North Mississippi and West Alabama right now. Also in Webster County, we don't want to see flooding, especially water approaching homes, and that's what's been going on in some spots. And if you encounter roads like this, just go the opposite direction, because you just don't know how deep it is, and you just don't know if that road is actually washed out because of that rain. So for the rest of tonight, let's talk about tonight. More rain likely coming our way. Now, we may see a few storms. We don't really think there's going to be a severe weather threat for tonight, but still some rain coming our way. Tomorrow, areas of showers not as intense. Now, going back to that severe weather threat, we may see some storms on Wednesday. We'll talk about that coming up.
Many folks are feeling a sense of deja vu, if you will. It was around this time last year that heavy rains had creeks and rivers running over their banks.
One area that was hard hit was Calhoun County, and the possibility of a repeat of last year's flooding has a lot of people there concerned. Our Quentin Smith is in Calhoun County. He joins us live tonight.
Yeah, Andrea, the rain has stopped for right now, and that's good news for those living here in Calhoun County. As you can see the sign behind me, it says road closed. I'm here on County Road 481, and this road closed because today's rainfall caused a culvert out here to collapse, and water came rushing over the road. And this is just one of 10 roads that were closed today. Most of them have reopened, and despite this sign still being up, I've counted numerous of trucks who have just continued to just cross along this road, but county leaders are urging residents to be cautious when doing so. But as you all mentioned, this is like deja vu for many residents out here after experiencing the flooding issues that they had last year. I caught up with a few of those residents, and we'll hear from them coming up later on tonight on WCBI News at 9 and 10. But for now, reporting live in Calhoun County, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
Well, several area schools let out early today because of the flooding rains. This includes Union County schools, where some county roads were flooded. School administrators sent everyone home to help prevent buses from being caught in worse conditions. The county's EMA director says the early dismissals are a good precaution, and Tuesday's schedule could also be impacted.
We'll look at it this afternoon and into the night to monitor it to see what roads we got closed, and then we'll get back in touch with the superintendent here for Union County. We talk a lot. We're going to stay on the phone together and communicate back and forth to see what the best safety issues it is for our students in the county school.
Emergency responders remind drivers to never go around barricades or drive through flooded roadways.
Well, it's easy to dismiss students when there's a threat of severe weather, but how your children are getting home may raise some concerns. Flooded roads can be much higher by the end of the day, which puts bus drivers in a difficult position to navigate through or around water.
Sure does. School transportation departments are taking alternative routes to avoid the possibility of being trapped on a flooded street. Our Stephanie Poole joins us live in the studio with more on this story. Stephanie.
Yes, Noxubee County and West Point schools are already one step ahead. Bus drivers are going the extra mile to make sure students stay safe and dry. When there's high water on roads, it can put students and drivers in a scary situation.
We got 100 calls today, parents concerned about how their kids gonna get home.
Transportation Director Tedrick Liddell says over 1,000 students use the bus system in the Noxubee County School District.
Well, we're using it when the rain come down, like it's come down. We are prepared for it. We get with the bus driver and tell them Don't worry about no schedule, getting no kids home and to school on time. The more important thing is transporting them in a safe manner.
Liddell says some of his students live in those low-lying areas, and that's causing changes to at least 6 bus routes.
We got our technology department doing an all-call, being prepared for the rest of the week. Some parents may got to bring some kids to some stops for to catch the bus. Some buses cannot get down in the area because of the road situation. And Knoxville County got a lot of flooded areas.
Bus manager Lamar Mills of the West Point Consolidated School District says his staff is following those same guidelines.
We try to contact the parent and let them know that their students are coming in, and it's for them to meet us at a safe location in order for us to get them home safe, but we do not go in any type of low areas.
Mills is doing his best to keep the children out of harm's way.
The parents, they entrust us to take their students home, so we treat them just like they're ours. We don't want to put them in no kind of danger. We don't want the parents to be worried. We don't want to have any type of accident with the bus which cause more fatalities.
Like I said, we are doing the best we can do, and safety come first, so we're going to get them home safe.
Both school districts say they'll continue to watch the weather and determine and make changes as necessary during the week.
All right, Stephanie in our studio with that story. Well, it looks like a runaway barge may have hit the Riverwalk pedestrian bridge. City engineer Kevin Stafford says the pillar is leaning and has pulled away from some of the metal supports that attach the pillar to the bridge. Late this evening, the city released a statement saying it was informed by Cooper Marine that a barge broke loose from a tugboat early Friday morning and floated down the Tenn-Tom waterway. There's no timeline right now on repairs, but city officials want the pillar inspected above and below the water level. Meanwhile, the Riverwalk itself remains open.
The investigation into a man's body found in a Lee County lake continues tonight. Sheriff Jim Johnson says the man was found in a lake in the Indian Hills subdivision this afternoon. No other identifying information is being released at this time. The body is being sent to Jackson, or the Jackson area, for an autopsy and to help investigators confirm the person's identity.
The individuals that was there on the scene was the Tupelo Fire Department that helped recover the body, as well as the Tupelo Police Department, due to the fact that there was a missing person reported that lived in this particular area. You're very close to the Tupelo Lee County line, the city limits, and going out in the county, but the body was recovered as far as jurisdiction-wise there in the county. So we're working with the Tupelo Police Department. The county coroner has got possession of the body.
Former MSU football player P.J. Jones was reported missing recently. However, Sheriff Johnson would not speculate whether Jones was the person recovered.
A Columbus teenager is indicted in a deadly shooting at a birthday party. Curtis Lathan now faces a second-degree murder charge in connection with the shooting this past July. His bond was set at $150,000. When he was first arrested, Lathan was charged with murder. Erica White was shot outside of a birthday party at the Propes Park Community Activity Center. At the time, sources told WCBI a security guard may have fired a gun in the air to try to break up an argument. That's when it's believed Lathan fired a gun and at least one bullet hit White. Columbus police believe the 16-year-old was an innocent bystander.
A Columbus man will go to trial after being indicted for murder. Aaron Mitchell was indicted by the Lowndes County grand jury for the deadly shooting. His bond was set at $100,000. 28-year-old Marty Christopher Moore was shot multiple times on 22nd Street South in Columbus this past August. He later died at the hospital. Police Chief Fred Shelton says there was an argument before the gunfire started.
Well, the rain couldn't dampen the spirit of some young volunteers in Lowndes County.
We find out how they're getting involved when we come back.
WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. Mississippi School for Mathematics and Science students spent the day giving back to the community. More than 100 of the teen scholars went to various organizations and schools today. This event is called Ideals Day. It encourages students to participate in 3 categories: creativity, scholarship, and community service. Well, this is one of the stops on the service tour. The Columbus Arts Council. The students helped put the finishing touches on a renovation project there.
We have restored our gallery by putting in brand new LED lights, new carpet, and painted the ceiling. So now it's time to redo our pedestals, and so we've changed the color, and they're priming and they're painting the pedestals today so that they will match our new renovated gallery.
The students also served meals today at Loaves and Fishes, helped with the Humane Society, and went to the Boys and Girls Club. MSMS has hosted this service day for several years now. And lucky for them, most of those projects were indoors.
Anything indoors today, A-OK.
Yeah.
Outdoors, not so much.
True.
Had to do an emergency gutter clean out this morning at my place just to get out ahead of this water. Look at these high waters out here across our region today. Many folks getting in on the action. And down here in Macon, look at this. This is a little bit of a video clip. And you can just see how much water is down in that part of the world. Just turn around, don't drown. That's the advice here if you encounter flooding. Stay connected with us here. We'll have that full forecast coming up next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Very wet across our region today. Our Alp Insurance Camera Network, our time lapse from downtown Columbus shows you the scene, clouds, rain, and even a little bit of thunderstorm activity out there today. But right now we are concerned more about rain than anything else. And over the last hour, you can see a little bit of a lull that has developed around here. More showers and thunder showers developing back to the southwest. And this is just one of many views of the activity out there today. High water out there in Webster County. And keep in mind here that 6 inches of water can sweep an adult off their feet here if you do encounter the heavy water. And 12 inches of water can actually do some interesting things to a small car. 18 inches of water can take that SUV or truck and sweep it away. So just keep in mind this right here. Don't go into a flooded area and turn around and go the opposite direction. Definitely don't go into any flooding during the evening and overnight when things are dark. Now, we're just broad brushing the potential here through Wednesday evening, Wednesday night for another 1 to 6 inches of rain somewhere across our area. We've already had about that general range here, so let's just double the numbers here going into tonight. And then we'll have a little bit of a break before another round of rain as we get into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. The flood watch does continue here indefinitely for the next couple of days. Do expect significant rises on the streams, the creeks, the rivers. They are occurring right now. We will likely see widespread river flooding be a problem going into the weekend too. We have a stalled boundary in place across our region. There's moisture coming up on top of that, and more rain is going to be developing here tonight. So plan accordingly. We may see some thunderstorms out there in the region too. We don't really anticipate any severe weather here, but can't rule out a gusty storm and maybe a hail-producing storm since we are on the colder northern side of this frontal boundary. But temperatures will range from the mid-40s in Oxford and New Albany and Coffeyville to the upper 50s to low 60s from Columbus down to Macon. And for tomorrow, mainly 50s, mid to upper 50s across the region. Widespread showers tonight. Not as much concentrated activity tomorrow. Here's Futurecast, and notice how we have the rain showers with some embedded thunder here this evening and tonight by mid-evening, perhaps more re-intensification, a blossoming effect of some rain across North Mississippi and North Alabama. That will continue into the wee hours of the night. As we get into tomorrow morning for the commute, do plan on some rain out there, but probably during the course of the day tomorrow, not as much rain as what we had today. Umbrellas needed, of course, but probably not the volume of rain. So we're going to call tomorrow a bit of a break. More showers possible tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. There will be a warm front coming north as we get into Wednesday. We may see some showers with that, and then out ahead of it, we'll get mild, and then right along the boundary right here, we'll have a line of strong storms, and we may see some damaging wind and isolated tornado potential Wednesday afternoon and evening. There's going to be a lot of wind energy zipping through the atmosphere again, along with this frontal boundary. So we have flooding, and we'll have a chance for some severe weather on Wednesday as that system kicks on through here. Behind it, winter returns. We will dry things out, but temperatures will tumble back down into the upper 40s for Friday. It will be dry, though. It will be sunny, and overnight lows getting down into the lower 30s, if not some 20s here later this week. And then we will rebound back into the 60s by Sunday and Monday with more rain and more storms possible here. We are stuck in this rut of very wet systems. We are in a major rut right now with the ongoing flooding issues, but that's the lay of the land right now. If you are concerned about the flooding, just be extra careful, and we'll keep you updated.
You can't get rid of those little black clouds.
The black clouds are just here to stay, it seems like.
This is true. All right, thanks, Keith. Well, a leak in the channel is causing a boil water notice for some folks in Lamar County. Vernon Water says a boil water notice is being issued for customers on County Road 49 and 2, along with people on Mount Carmel Road. The notice is for customers who have low water pressure from the leak. The department says no water has been contaminated.
Mississippi State women's basketball continues to move on up in the national rankings. Courtney has all that and more next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Another week of college basketball in the books. The Mississippi State women keep moving on up this week after picking up a pair of top 25 wins against 23rd ranked Tennessee and 16th ranked Texas A&M. The Bulldogs climbing 2 spots, sitting pretty at number 6 in the AP Top 25 poll. The rank is the highest MSU has sat in national rankings this season. State currently riding a 6-game winning streak with only 3 losses all season, only one of those losses in the SEC. The Dogs pulling off a huge second-half comeback to get the win against the Aggies on Sunday. Here's a reaction from Coach Vic Schaefer after the win.
I just thought we were relentless. I thought you could not kill our will tonight. As bad as it got, I just know they tried to kill our will, and they certainly had us on the chopping block. But at the end of the day, we kept getting off the chopping block and wouldn't let them kill our will. And that is a sign, y'all, of a great team. And I'm not saying that they're great right now, but man, they're trying to grow up. And I think we grew up a little bit more today. We've got so far to go, but that is certainly a great sign.
It's not an exaggeration to say without guard Bree and Tyree, Ole Miss men's basketball would be lost. Tyree leads the SEC, averaging 23 points per game in conference play, averaging 19 per game all season, and last week, get this, averaged nearly 31 points a game. All that action earned Tyree his second ever SEC Player of the Week honor. That'll happen, though, when you're shooting a career high of 38 and making 80% of your free throws. And that's been the name of the game for Tyree this season. It's how the Rebels are finding themselves on a 2-game winning streak for the first time since December. However, head coach Kermit Davis saying Tyree is at his best when he's impacting the game off the court.
I said, let's just go win February. Don't worry about anything else. Just today, do everything you can do, and let's win February. And so he was good, and he really led, probably had his 2 best practices, in a while. And, again, the biggest thing about maturity is, of him being able to lead when he doesn't shot make. And when we ever can get him to do that, then you've really arrived as a college player, when you can affect the game other ways.
Over on the gridiron, 3 months after suffering a hip dislocation injury, sources saying former Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa received the best possible results on a recent CT scan. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the fracture has healed and the hip's range of motion is good. Tagovailoa is now expected to resume practice in the next month, and he will be attending the NFL Scouting Combine at the end of February. However, Tagovailoa is not anticipated to participate in any workouts. Hey, that's the energy I think we all need on a Monday, especially a Monday like today with all the gloomy weather and beginning a new week. And no, your eyes do not deceive you. That is, in fact, former Mississippi State quarterback Nick Fitzgerald shotgunning a hard seltzer after his XFL team picked up their first win of the season. The St. Louis Battlehawks against the Dallas Renegades 15-9 on Sunday. Fitzgerald didn't see too much of game action. He did touch the gridiron. The Mississippi State record holder saw one snap, a 3-yard rush to pick up a first down. The celebration, though, is what has got everybody going nuts online right now on Twitter. That video has almost 3 million views, 2,100 retweets, and 11,000 favorites. Joey, Andrea, I know you're both huge fans of that video. I mean, how would you not be? Like Nick Fitz, I guess, in his natural element. You love to see that. I feel like I might be doing that when I get off of work tonight.
Oh, okay.
Shotgun and a hard seltzer.
All right.
You got to smash it on your head first.
You think I could do that?
No, don't.
I want to see video.
I might come in tomorrow with a concussion. We don't need that.
This is true. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Still raining out there. We will have more rain develop as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. Not as heavy tomorrow, 50s. And then Wednesday afternoon and evening, it will be a little bit warmer Wednesday. That could give rise to some strong to severe storms. All of this goes away Thursday afternoon. And we'll have at least one day Friday of sunshine and most of Saturday, too.
That's nice.
We'll take Friday and Saturday.
You know, 2 days there, 5 days with a chance of rain.
During the work week.
I want it all sunny, Keith.
Don't boo me, please.
Baseball Friday.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody.